In this video, we're looking at measures of spread. So measures of spread include range and the interquartile range. So we're going to cover both. The range is quite simple. It's just the difference between the highest and the lowest score. So if we had a data set from 1, 5, 7, 9, 10, our range is just the largest score. So 10, take away the smallest score, 1. So our range is 9. That's as simple as it is for the range. The next thing is the interquartile range. Now that is a little bit trickier and it requires that you know how to use the median. So if you can't remember that, I suggest going back to look at the video measures of center. It's okay though, I'm going to cover a quick brief explanation here. Probably going through it a little bit quick though. So here we have an example. So before I begin, the interquartile range is the difference between what we call the upper quartile and the lower quartile. Now that may seem confusing to you, but I'll show you what that means. All right. So here we have an example. We have some data, and we need to first make sure that the data is ordered. So it is. It's from smallest to largest, so that's good. We don't have to do anything. The next thing we do is we find the median. Now remember, to find the median, we just keep crossing off until we get into the middle. So I have 5 crossed over here and I have 5 crossed over here. All right. So these two here are going to help us find the median. Actually, finding the median doesn't matter. So I'm not going to actually go through that detail. I just know that there's a median that goes in here. Okay. So knowing that, I can cut my data set into 2 sections. So I can cut it into this section here, and this is my lower half, and then I can cut this section here to get my upper half. Okay. Now, with each of these ones, I want to find the median for the lower, which will get me the lower quartile, and I want to find the median for the upper, which will get me the upper quartile. So, in the same way I just did the last one, I cross off until I get to the middle, or in this case 2 in the middle, and then remember when you're finding the middle number and you got 2, it's 7 plus 9 over 2, and we end up with 8. So that's my lower quartile. Then over here I cross off until I get 2, so 19 plus 20 over 2, and I get 19.5 here. Okay, so going to go back slowly back through that. You want to make sure your data's from lowest to highest. You then want to cross off until you get your median, the middle number. You don't have to actually need to calculate it. We just use that to shift or break our data set into 2 parts. In our case, it was between 11 and 13. So I circled my lower half and I circled my upper half. Okay. Now that I've done that, I want to find my interquartile range. Now, in other ways, this is called quartile 1. And this is called quartile 3, or this is also called the lower, and this is called the upper quartile. Now, your interquartile range, or IQR, is your quartile 3 minus your quartile 1, or your upper quartile minus your lower. Now that we've got both of them, we can put that in and we can got 19.5 take away 8. So my interquartile range is 11.5. Feel free to go back and re-watch this section because there's quite a lot to find in the interquartile range and it can be tricky at the beginning.